Hello and welcome to the latest edition of Yes 101 Visual Radio. Bringing you the news, I'm Steven Machado. Let's take a look at your headlines first.
News First headline.
No room for racism, Public Security Minister. 3 key bills to present in Parliament. Justice Minister. Minister of Defense sets limit on civilian firearms. South Korean Defense Minister apologizes and takes full responsibility. South Africa and Sri Lanka look to keep their World Test Cricket Championship final hopes alive. Your local news in detail. Minister of Public Security and Parliamentary Affairs Ananda Vijaypala addressed the recent arrests and their reasons. Speaking in Parliament, the minister emphasized that the core of their mandate is rooted in values that do not tolerate racism. In response to ongoing discussions regarding the Mahaviru commemorations, he said that the government respects the right of all citizens, whether from the north or south, to commemorate the death of a loved one. However, he underscored that any commemorations involving the display of flags, logos or symbols associated with the LTTE, which is a prescribed organization, is unacceptable. The minister noted that a recent statement he made in Galgamuar had been misinterpreted by a newspaper, prompting him to file a complaint with the CID, which has reportedly initiated an investigation. According to reports, 244 commemorative ceremonies were held in the north, with 10 of them featuring LTTE symbols. The investigation into these ceremonies is ongoing. However, Minister Vijaypala pointed out that some of circulated images did not depict events in the north but rather events held in other countries or from previous years, which are being used to misrepresent the situation and falsely suggest that the LTTE-related ceremonies have been occurring since President Anurakkumar Dissanayake took office. He added that 2 of the suspects arrested were linked to activists involved with the gas cylinder protests, one of whom had run in the recent election. The minister also added that several individuals with political ties were found to be involved in these incidents, reiterating the government's commitment to upholding freedom of speech and expressions as guaranteed by the Constitution. Minister Vijaypala criticized the spread of false videos and news on social media concerning President Anurakkumar Dissanayake and himself. He assured the public they will not be swayed by such misinformation and reaffirmed that there will be zero tolerance for racism in this country. If existing laws fall short, he said that new legislation would be proposed to combat such issues. Minister of Justice and National Integration Attorney Harshan Nanaikaru said that 3 bills will be presented in Parliament: the Proceeds of Crime Bill, Rescue and Rehabilitation and Insolvency Bill, and amendments to the Audit Act. This is an excerpt of Minister Harshan Nanaikaru's statement in Parliament.
Proceeds of Crime Bill, Rescue and Rehabilitation and Insolvency Bill, amendments to the Audit Act. These 3 legislations in the form of bills will be presented to Parliament.
Moving on, the Ministry of Defense has decided to issue firearms to civilians under a maximum limit of 1 per individual, based on the results of ongoing investigations into the weapon usage. According to the ministry, if an individual requests more than 1 firearm, a security assessment will be conducted. Based on the findings of this assessment, a decision will be made on whether or not issue additional firearms. The security assessment will be carried out by the intelligence units and agencies. The ministry added that if, during the security assessment, it is revealed that there is no threat to individuals' life, steps will be taken to confiscate their firearms once again. Currently, an investigation is underway regarding firearms issued to civilians within the Ministry of Defense premises. The Ministry of Defense added that a total of 1,550 firearms have been issued to civilians. The Sirasa Shakti Sahanayatra began its journey yesterday morning from the Sirasa TV head office in Colombo, aiming to support those affected by recent extreme weather conditions. 4 teams were dispatched to Mana, Batiklo, Mullaitivu and Ampara to distribute relief packages. Up next is international news.
International news.
In the last few minutes, South Korea's defense minister has tendered his resignation over the martial law. Minister Kim Yong-hun has apologized to the public for spreading confusion and causing distress, the ministry says in a statement. Kim says he will take full responsibility for the martial law. Kim will remain in his role until President Yoon accepts his resignation. There has been no word from Yoon. Up next is sports news.
Sports news.
The headline is that both teams are in with a shot at making the World Test Championship final, but neither have secured a place. Unhelpfully for South Africa, the WTC point system doesn't reward hefty winning margins. So although they crushed Sri Lanka by 233 runs in Durban, it still only goes down as a simple win. A win for Sri Lanka, meanwhile, would mean they have a chance of qualifying for the final without having to depend on other results. That's all the news we have for you for this edition of Yes 101 Visual Radio. Stay tuned for more of the very latest.